choices you have to make, whether it be art, whether it be videos, blogs on our classroom. We have so many ways for you to share the impacts that you're experiencing of climate change and what you're trying to do about it. So we're very excited to welcome you today. Now, we just have
Hello, Terry and Sarah. Can you hear us now? We've been calling you for the last 30
minutes.
Yes,
Taiwan, you're coming through clearly.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Great. And you can see us, right?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Okay, thank you. We're going on mute now. Thank you.
Thank you. So that's a wonderful reminder that we have so many people here in the waiting room today. We're hoping, or so many people here in the meeting room, that we are hoping that we all remember to rename ourselves with our country and our name, and then to keep ourselves muted so that we can see our friends who are presenting, because we have a lot of wonderful speakers who are joining us today, and we're so excited to share who they are, what they're thinking about, what they're passionate about, that we want to feature them in the best way possible.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. So before we start, I'd like to start with an acknowledgement of the land that we in Canada are joining you from. We're joining you from something called Treaty 6 land. And in Canada, much before colonization, peoples lived all over the country and the land that was here. And after colonization, there was a series of agreements that were written between the governments of the British Empire and of those who lived in Canada. And they were called treaties. And as a part of reconciliation, of a part of recognizing that, understanding that, and moving forward from that, we acknowledge the land that we joined from. I'm joining from Treaty 6 land, which was the land of the Dene, Nakota Sioux, Cree, Blackfoot, and Saulteaux people, and many other Métis and other people and Inuit peoples whose footsteps marked this land before we arrived. So that is a part of our process of reconciliation and acknowledgement.
Because you'll see the title of this project is not just decarbonize, but it's also decarbonize, decolonize. As we work towards a more sustainable planet, we need to understand the systems of power that have perpetuated and continue to move forward the challenges we're having around climate change. So not only do we need to take carbon and produce less carbon, but we need to understand those systems of power. And part of that is understanding colonization. So it was important for us in a land that has been colonized by other powers that we acknowledge the people that have been on this land. So let's talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. We have the title slide that's there. We have the Twitter handle at CG Education. We would love for you to, that's our Twitter handle that's there. In terms of where we'd love for you to tweet, hashtag decarbonize2020. We'd love to see some tweets and pictures that you would be sharing of yourselves as you're preparing for your event. Using Twitter is an excellent tool to get the word out and to mobilize communities and to reach those people in power.
Wonderful. So to start now, we'll have to share this link as well on our YouTube site, but we have a Jamboard going. And so we'll showcase that in a few more slides, but we'd love for you to go onto the Jamboard and put a post-it note. You can see here with a sticky note that you just click that, you add your place and your name. And then on slide 2, we're adding our favorite song. So I did a Canadian song because I'm joining from Canada. And I know we all love Bruce Springsteen, but let's try to think of someone in our own countries who maybe the other countries here have never heard of. And it would be awesome if it was in your original language. And so we get a sense of the music, the vibes of all the youth that are joining today. I would love to be able to share and hear some of the popular music or your favorite music from your country. And then what I was hoping to do this year was have a decarbonized playlist. So I'll take all the songs that you guys add to that slide, and in the classroom, online, the virtual classroom, we'll make a decarbonized playlist so we can all listen to the songs that we've recommended from around the world.
Very cool.
So if you can't think of one today, think on it for a bit, and then join in and put it on the virtual classroom. So there'll be space there as well. But right now, Jamboarding.
So we have very shortly, we will hear from 8 of the 42 countries that are going to be connecting to our 8 schools. It's really important you realize you only have 2 minutes to share. We got even a little bit behind in today's agenda because we ran into some technical difficulties at the beginning. So it's even more important now that everybody speaks for 2 minutes and not anymore.
So we will be giving you a warning that it's coming to an end. Again, we want to welcome you all to this amazing project. It's hard to believe where we come in the last few years and the stories we've heard and the action we've seen taken, and we can't wait to see where you go with Decolonize 2020.
Absolutely. We have young people across the world who have mobilized governments through their projects, who have mobilized villages through their projects, who have had and spoken to the leaders of the planet at the United Nations climate change conferences. The work that you're doing together, the work, how we're listening and collaborating is making a difference, and we're able to have a real impact. So it's exciting to have you all joining today as we put together education and action and learning and climate change and science. And we want to do a special acknowledgement of the Trottier Family Foundation that was that saw a vision for young people and saw a vision for bringing together education and science and learning and climate change and health, and bringing those all together in a way so that they can make a real impact alongside you.
So we wanted to start with a quote from the UN, from the UNFCCC for the Framework Convention on Climate Change. And normally, our Decarbonize project builds towards their conference every year. Now this year, because of COVID, we've all been experiencing in different ways. I know our friends in Argentina are still locked in their houses. And here in Canada, we're lucky we have a little bit more freedom, and but we're all wearing masks. So we've all experienced different impacts. And the UN has put a hold on all conferences this year. So COP26 will take place next year in November, the same as the years before that in terms of timing, in Glasgow, Scotland. But we don't want to lose the momentum of the Decarbonize project. We don't want to lose the momentum of youth voice and youth action. And so this year will be a bridging year. We will be building, and we will still be writing a paper, but we'll have to do so virtually in new and exciting ways. But we will be presenting to representatives through Zoom, through a webinar, and we will be producing our report again that summarizes all the work that we've been doing. And so we will still be building, and we will still be honoring that the UN wants to hear a youth voice. And now more than ever, when we're isolated and we feel alone, we need to know that we can come together to make change. And so this is a wonderful quote about leadership and the challenges that young people are putting forward. And that's you. We are so excited to help you facilitate this. So just a little overview of today. I actually built into the agenda a few minutes.
Oh, you are good.
Because it's usual that when we have an event this large, this impactful, that it takes us a little while to get started. So we're right on time, in fact.
That's amazing.
And we'll be going to our first speaker, who's joining us via video from the UNESCO. And so Julie is the chief of the international coordination team for UNESCO Associated Schools Project, or New Schools Network.
So many of the schools that are joining us are World UNESCO schools, and Julie and her team in Paris head up the UNESCO's, which is the United Nations Education, Science, Culture Organization. And they are very much involved in science education and linking schools through the ASP net. And so Julie has a message to encourage you and to inspire you. She wishes she was here, but there's actually another meeting that's going on at the exact same time. So she made a video. Let's hear from Julie.
Let's try that again, hey?
We just had, we would like to hear from Julie, not just see her.
All right, there we go. Oh,
Dear participants of the launch of the Decolonize project, dear students around the globe, my name is Julie Saito. I'm the Dear participants of the launch of the Decolonize project, dear students around the globe, my name is Julie Saito. I'm the International Coordinator of the UNESCO Associated Schools Network, in short, ASBNet. There are 11,500 members in 182 countries working in support of international understanding, peace, intercultural dialogue, sustainable development, and quality education in practice. I am happy to be able to greet you today on the occasion of the launch of the project, which is very much in line not only with UNESCO's values, but in particular with our work on education for sustainable development and global citizenship education. Engaging in reflection and discussions on climate change in our interconnected world is especially important at this crucial moment because, firstly, the coronavirus pandemic has shown us that the destruction and fragmentation of ecosystems and thereby also the habitats of certain species, their farming and the illegal trafficking all increase health risks. Secondly, the corona crisis has also shown that reduced pollution from the economic shutdown is a one-off effect that will disappear when the crisis is over. Companies reopen, travel restrictions are lifted, and economies recover. Thirdly, each year, the world generates over 2 billion tons of waste. Trash clogs our oceans, fills our streets, and litters huge areas of the planet. Waste and overconsumption are both contributors to the climate crisis. Fourthly, racism, discrimination, hate speech in the on and offline world have also further increased as part of the pandemic, and we need to address and counter them. I therefore very much welcome your engagement and participation in this important Decolonize project, and your clear-sightedness that this crisis also presents a window of opportunity not only to address our current difficulties, but to look beyond the pandemic and rethink education community, connectedness, and express how we want to shape our world to be more just, inclusive, and sustainable. And your voices, the voices of youth, are essential in this process. I wish you all a very interesting, enriching, and successful project. Thank you. Dear participants,
we're excited to be able to have the connection that we have to UNESCO. We're excited to work with the ASP.NET schools, and we're excited to work with schools that are joining us from all over the world towards the action that they're doing. So we are going to hear shortly from some other friends who are also going to talk about work that they're doing and how we can work more closely together. Oh, we have some technical challenges. Can we mute that mic? There we go. So we're going to hear from some other schools here shortly as we move forward in the dialogue for today. So who's next, Sarah?
Well, first we want to say again about the Jamboard. So if you are on in our chat or on YouTube or here in the meeting, we would love for you to be on Jamboard as well. Let's see how it's going so far.
Oh, look at
this
those.
Awesomeness.
Oh my goodness gracious, that's
so
incredible.
Amazing. And so we have all these stickers. I'm sure you can find a little square somewhere. We'll just move this guy over. Perfect. It's awesome to see you all joining. And let's look at, look at these favorite songs. Wonderful. So amazing.
And there's 8 pages where things just continue.
Yeah,
so
we'll
people
see.
have, no, those are just extra pages.
Yeah.
But looks like we have some great contributions that are going up. We'll be able to come, we're gonna highlight that again later. So if you haven't added to that, we will be friends in chat. You can scroll up through the chat and you're going to find that Jamboard link so you can continue to post.
Wonderful. So we have a lot of schools that are going to join us today, even more that I was scooched in on the end. Now I know that we received some presentations just in the last few minutes. And unfortunately, if they were sent in the last sort of half hour, we did not have the chance to load them in. But we will be sharing all of the presentations on the classroom. So if you do not see your presentation, we will maybe give a chance at the end for students to say hello, to join us. I know our friends from Costa Rica and our friends from Indonesia, our friends, I know I was able to add a few Bangladesh slides, but perhaps not all of them, but we will do our best to get to everyone today. Now our first speaker will be joining us, our first student will be joining us from here in Queen Elizabeth High School in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Jocelyn, if you are on the meeting, we would love to say hello. If you're here, if you're able to unmute your microphone. All right, well, you know what? I am going to share her slides for her because we want to make sure that we acknowledge. So Queen Elizabeth High School is actually the school that we're joining you from. We're upstairs on the second floor, but we are excited to welcome their students as a part of our project. This is what the outside of our school looks like. And here at Queen Elizabeth High School, they have a class that's dedicated to doing action-oriented projects. So we have a green wall, we have a fish tank here, and it feeds an entire ecosystem of plants. And that water is used to grow not only the fish, but also basil and lettuce and other sorts of organics. And then this year they had a seed project. And so while everyone was stuck with COVID, they got some local harvest seeds and they distributed them with buckets to families in need in the community so that they could grow their own foods in their home without having to go out with the COVID scare, but also as an exciting way for youth to learn about growing things, whether it be trees or vegetables. So thank you so much, Queen Elizabeth. We welcome you. Now our next school is the Globe School in Argentina, and I know they're joining us from YouTube. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited to have you. I love this video that you've created. Let's see if the sound works. We might have to do a little swisher-swisheroo. Oh.
Hola, hello. We are the Global School. The change in temperature is one of the ways we see climate change affecting our environment.
Also, natural resources overuse.
We are very happy to be part of Decarbonize.
Oh.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness. We were muted, weren't we? Oh,
all right.
Thank you, Nyla from USA, who pointed that out, because you guys must have just been like, what's going on? Why are they not talking to us?
All right, so for our Columbia school, if you want to come, let us know in the chat if you've been able to join us. But we are going to go across now our Taiwanese school. We know that they are here and we know that they are ready. So Taiwan, you have 2 minutes. Over to you.
Go.
Hello, greetings from Taiwan. It is 11:30 now. Today we have students from Taichung Girls Senior High
No,
School
it seems
and
that we're here. We're
affiliated.
just not able to hear them.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Do you
Okay,
hear us now?
now we can hear you.
Okay, go.
Hello, greetings from Taiwan. It is 11:30 now. Today at our site we have students from Taichung Girls Senior High School and the affiliated high school of Zhongxin University. I'm Hannah.
And I'm Cherry. So how's the climate change affecting Taiwan?
In the past, the weather usually cools down during October to November. However, we can see lots of people wearing t-shirts and shirts on the streets even in late November because it is still very hot. Also, the rainfall in Taiwan is uneven. Although Taiwan's rainfall is higher than the world's average, the terrain of Taiwan is steep, so the water flows into the ocean easily, and we still do not have enough water. The climate change makes this more serious. The situation will either result in floods or the rainfall isn't enough for us to use. There are more insects, which leads to farming problems. Then the price of vegetable and fruit soars.
Climate change is present tense. We should start taking action in our daily life. For instance, in the city that we live in, Taichung, which is the second largest city in Taiwan. We have the longest and most beautiful bike path in the country. The best way to experience carbon reduction life and enjoy the relaxing atmosphere is to ride slowly across the Dajia River. On the western coastline of Taiwan, we also have some giant wind turbine generators powered by strong winds. We hope our government will hold on the key to combating climate change. That's all. Thank you.
Excellent job,
Wonderful.
Taiwan. That was
Thank
so
you.
good.
All right, now Bolis is up next with our greetings from California.
Hi everyone, our names are Piper, Ella and Nyla, and we are the leaders representing the Decarbonize Club here at Bullish Charter School in California, USA.
The three of us are in 8th grade, making us one of the youngest groups involved in this amazing initiative. We are thrilled to be joining for another year where we can turn the challenges we are facing, the climate injustices and the global pandemic, into becoming more environmentally conscious people.
As you all have probably heard, one of the largest impacts on our community is the fires which result in frighteningly poor air quality. Every year, the California fires are becoming more and more devastating.
Earlier this month, we woke up to find a bright red sun and a deep orange sky. The fires and smoke have been impacting our daily lives since August, and our fire season has barely just begun. Not only do we face fires, but we have also been experiencing an ongoing drought that has been progressing for over 4 years. The impacts of these issues have really served as a wake-up call.
Previously, our club has strived to raise awareness and amplify others' voices through hosting booths at local conventions, communicating with our government, and leading and participating in strikes. Our school has been actively working towards becoming more sustainable, not only as a part of this club.
As part of our school experience, we participate in projects to educate others about climate change at a young age, making efforts to protect wildlife as well as preserve nature in our own community. We also strive to put forth our knowledge to create tangible solutions for the future.
These photos specifically show our acts of educating ourselves and others by attending the Students for Green High Schools Conference and the Los Altos Arts and Wine Festival, organizing climate injustice protests, cultivating our school gardens, and even some of our graduated members meeting Sarah, Terry, and other decarbonizers.
We look forward to the opportunities that this year will bring and are so excited for the global collaboration that makes TAG so unique and so susceptible to change. We're so excited to meet everyone and use our youth voices to combat climate change.
Overall, we hope that despite the situation this year, we can all still strive towards action, a better future, and unite to mitigate the climate crisis. Thank you.
Excellent job. Well done. All right, so who is next on our list of schools to share?
We have our friends from Nairobi, Kenya, who will be sharing on St. Aston's Academy.
All right, let's hear from you. Over to you, Kenya.
Hello everyone, my name is Abdi Fatah Khalif. I'm from Kenya and I'm a student in St. Austin's Academy. So basically Kenya is located in East Africa and it is the most developing country in terms of economy. However, regarding to climate change, Kenya, as Kenyans, we face a lot of issues such as drought, food shortage, and also unexpected seasonal change. In terms of school, we did our part. We tried to raise awareness to the community. We did a lot of activities and protests. And these are several works that we did. For example, this is St. Austin cleanup campaign. And this is our protesting activity. You may move to the second slide. So yeah, this is more cleaning, more planting, and more, awareness to the community. And in fact, we did a lot of planting around our school and our community. We tried to also communicate with the people who are, in charge of our community, and we tried to raise awareness. Thank you very much, and we're looking forward to meet each one of you in this program. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Excellent presentation.
Thank
Great
you
job.
so much. Oh, and now this is my transition slide because I wanted to invite our guest speaker from the Environment and Climate Change Canada to bring a welcome on behalf of the Canadian government and our projects. We work very closely with our partners here in Canada, acknowledging the ways in which our government is already doing work. And oftentimes, I mean, Greta, there's amazing youth movements all over the world, but in hand with protests and strikes comes systemic change, working within our system to shift the way we work. And we work closely with our friends in government and other non-governmental organizations, environmental organizations, such as Oceanwise, who's a project partner, to work together to make change. And so we've invited Abigail to sort of represent that voice of policymakers that attend COP, that make these decisions.
Who you end up many times, the presentation and the work that you do, you share with these policy leaders. And this is how we actually got connected to Abigail, was through one of the leaders in her organization who was there at the UN climate change in Spain. So Abigail, we are ready for you.
Now I'm gonna stop sharing so that you can be our primary screen.
Great. Thank you so much for that introduction. And thank you everybody for coming today and, listening to all these amazing presentations and also taking the time to listen to me. I hope I have some good stuff to say. So hello, my name is Abigail and I'm joining you from Ottawa, Canada. I would like to recognize that Ottawa is located on the unceded territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe Nation. So as was mentioned, I work at Environment and Climate Change Canada in the Innovation and Youth Engagement Division. Our team focuses, among other things, focuses on making sure that young Canadians like yourselves, well, I know some people here are from Canada, not everybody, obviously, feel heard and that your ideas and opinions influence the decisions the Canadian government makes in relation to the environment and climate change. So I wanted to speak to you today a little bit about the importance of youth leadership in climate action and what you can bring to the table as young activists. So everybody, big and small, can be part of the solution. Making sure the voices of children and youth are heard builds a stronger climate plan for everybody, but most importantly for your own future. Youth should be included in climate action because we are the generation that will be most affected by climate change. Our futures are literally at stake with this issue. The Convention of the Rights of the Child clearly states that children, so anyone under the age of 18 in most countries, have the right to give their opinions freely on issues that affect them and to be heard and strongly considered. Climate change affects all children and youth, no matter where you are from, and the government has the responsibility, really, to ask young people to participate in the climate action response. When youth are engaged in climate action, a national and even international culture of environmental stewardship is created. By learning about and participating in climate action, you will develop the tools to take what you learn and inspire others in your community and your family, and spreading the sense of urgency and drive that I'm sure you are all feeling. As young people, you are full of good ideas. Involving you in the conversations about climate change equips you to build solutions we need to fight climate change. Young people are powerful agents of change. Sharing the work of students who are finding solutions to climate change encourages more young people to get involved and to take action, but it also inspires the older generation. So keep doing what you're doing. You have the chance to work on these skills and gain the necessary knowledge at school. And it's amazing that your teachers recognize the importance of working on climate action at school and are taking the time to discuss these issues with you. And I wish that when I was your age in high school, elementary school, I wish that I had this kind of project or this kind of guidance from my teachers to really make this an important part of my education. Climate change affects everyone, and young people from around the world are finding new ways to make a difference in their communities, and I must say it's quite inspiring. While COVID-19 may have changed some of your plans or delayed some of your projects, I think it also gave young people around the world the chance to realize that they can go a step further in their activism. So the need to go completely online has shown us all what we can accomplish virtually and how the connections we make can reach further and be as meaningful as before the pandemic, if not more. This situation has also forced everyone to be more innovative, and I am excited to see what new and interesting projects come out of this situation. As youth, you also have a digital literacy that is absolutely unmatched, giving you an advantage in this increasingly digital world. These skills will facilitate any future projects you may have, ensuring that you can communicate effectively and reach as many people as you can. Already we're seeing this connection here today with so many people from all around the world. It's really cool. This increased need to rely on technology also poses its own issues, as we've seen today, and I'm sure you've all seen in your personal lives that things can go wrong when connecting virtually. I myself have bad Wi-Fi. I apologize if I've been cutting out. I have no idea. So, and I think though that this is also a chance to learn patience and understanding with your peers, and just giving people the chance to reconnect to the Wi-Fi. And so I think that's a really good skill to learn too, is like literally just patience for what other people are going through. So young people, including students and especially Indigenous youth and youth-led organizations, are participating in clean growth and climate change initiatives. With your limitless imagination and your tendency to think outside the box, young climate activists such as yourselves have the potential to be leaders in innovative climate action. You also have a lot to say and deserve to say it and to be heard. You may often feel like others know more than you do, or you don't know the right things, or you should learn more before speaking up. I also I feel this all the time in my job. Earlier we heard from somebody from UNESCO, and I thought, while she was speaking, I thought, I can't follow this. I can't, speak after the UN. That's crazy. But I do have interesting things to say, and I do have an experience that's important to share, and I think you do too. And I think that's something that's really important to remember, is that your unique experience is unique, and the skills and knowledge you get from that experience is worth sharing, and it's important to share, because you may feel like somebody's already said what you have to say, or you may feel like somebody else can say it better, but you don't know that. So you might as well take the chance and say what you have to say, and it probably will work out really well for you. So I cannot emphasize enough how much you have to offer to the climate action movement. The skills, ideas, and drive you have are unique to the young generation and make you an invaluable player in this fight for a safe and equitable future. So I can't wait to hear what you guys all accomplish this year. I think it's going to be really interesting to see, and I'm really excited for you all. So have a good time and be safe. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Abigail. I think that message that you can do things now is so important for youth to hear, that you don't have to wait till you're old like us, or old like your teachers, that you can make change now, that the world is ready to hear your voice. and that your unique position in schools, in your communities, working with other youth is such a valuable place to make action that resonates with you. That I don't know what action is needed in your community. I might know what's needed in my community, but you yourself are experts in your own lived experience, and you can create the change that you want to see in your schools or in your youth groups, in your faith communities, in your cities. And we're here to help empower you and support you and through all that work. So thank you, Abigail, for really resonating that message that, and especially if you're in Canada, Abigail wants to hear from you. She wants to know the work that you're doing, and she wants to see some action. So thank you, Abigail, for that wonderful presentation. All right,
And friends, one of the things we're going to be doing is not just learning about your action and you sharing your action, but through sharing online, we can inspire each other towards the great work. And I think it's excellent to see as we come to this as equals, as the students in Kenya connect with the students in Indonesia, who connect to the students in the United States, and we all learn from each other. And we all can be like that wind that helps our boats move forward towards that goal of a more sustainable planet. And that's what this project is all about. It is creating a whole global community of young people doing great work.
Mm-hmm. So we want to go back to our students presenting. We are midway through our school presentations, which has been so wonderful to see so many of our schools come online. I've been getting email messages and WhatsApp messages of others that are here who are on YouTube and in the meeting room who want to introduce your school. And we understand. So at the end, we'll invite those who weren't able to get presentations in on time to say hello from their schools. Now, next is our friends from Soldotna in Alaska, in America. Now, I know they were trying to get into the room earlier, and I'm not sure if they were able to join. If you're here, Megan or Reagan, would you like to unmute your microphone now? I tried to just
yes, we're here.
Wonderful, can you hear us? Yeah, Brooke. Oh, sorry, it's Brooke, not Megan. Sorry about that, Brooke. We would love to have you now, and I will start sharing your slides for you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Brooke. I'm Reagan. And so we are two sophomores in high school, and we live in Soldotna, Alaska, which is in the south central region of Alaska.
We go to Soldotna High School, and we have a photo of the United States flag, and then we have a photo of our Alaska state flag. And we'd like to recognize the land we're living on, which is Dena'ina Athabascan land. They arrived here 1,000 to 1,500 years ago. Thank you.
Yeah, you can go to the next slide, please. Okay, so since we've both grown up in Alaska, we've had the unique experience of growing up with a ton of wildlife and all our geography and just the nature around us. And so we get to experience and see a lot of the effects of climate change up here in Alaska, whether it be our glaciers melting, our wildfires. A lot of our animals and wildlife are dying because their habitats are going.
We have a lot of different things happening, especially with the weather getting warmer. That affects a lot more wildlife than if it got colder. For our salmon, at least, then they can't survive in warm water. They need colder, oxygenated water temperatures. And if the water gets too warm, which happened last year, then we have massive die-offs. They don't get to spawn, and then we don't have enough salmon for the next year. And salmon is one of our biggest food sources in Alaska, and we survived off it for years. So it's very, very dangerous.
Yeah, so thank you for having us, and we're super excited to work on this project with you guys. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Alaska.
Great job, Alaska. Thanks for sharing the impacts of climate change. And we're looking forward as we move forward for you sharing some of the great work that you're doing to help address that climate change.
All right, our next is our school from Netherlands, and I saw them log on earlier, so I'm hoping that their student was also able to get in the room. If you are here, Netherlands, we would love to hear from you. I can see you guys all in your classroom. Oh, you're gathering around the screen.
Excellent. Now, Netherlands is a little close to my heart, Sarah. I don't know if you know this, but my father was born in the Netherlands and he came to Canada just after the Second World War. So this is part of my, it's always exciting. All of us have a different heritage that we bring to this dialogue.
Hello.
Hello everyone. We are from Mees Monteur Lyceum in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. Zijn we online? Nee? Kijk maar, het staat niet.
There we go.
Ja, nee, wacht, nee. Nee, maar dat is gewoon nog niet. Wat zijn wij nu?
Oh ja.
Zijn we? Ja, nu zijn we. Ja! Oké. Hello everyone. We are from Mees Monteur Lyceum in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. And our school is for teenagers ranging from the age of 12 to 18 years old. And we have a pretty cool school, you can see. And not just because we have awesome students and teachers, but also because our school finds it important that we have a voice in things that grown-ups usually are only involved in, for example, politics. This is a really good example because usually adults are the ones that choose what happens to us in a sense also for the environment. And now we have a voice. And we are grateful to have this chance to do so. In the Netherlands, well, we are kind of built on water. We're very creative with that. We kind of build our own country. And now that country is kind of under threat, for example, for the rising sea levels. And we need to find a way to not drown because of the rising sea levels. I mean, it's a reality. So we cannot go around it and say it's not happening. And that's why we're here, to find solutions for all of us so climate change doesn't affect us in that of a way. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hello. I think we shared.
Excellent. Great job, Netherlands. Well done. You did a super job
Well
sharing.
done.
And
Thank you very much.
you're very welcome. Excellent. Great job, Netherlands. All right. And we have more countries that are going to be sharing. Where are we going across? We've been to the continents of Africa and Europe, and our friends in South America weren't able to connect just now, but hopefully Colombia will come on later again so they can say hello to us. But we will be hearing now from our friends in India. Excellent. Hyderabad.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, so this is Ankit from the Hyderabad Public School, and my teammates present today are Pavan, Varsha, Shagvi, Shiv, Harshita, Ashrita, Pranav, Kritika, and Shrikar. Can you please go to the next slide?
There you go. Can you see it? Oh, and it looks like India might have some connections issues that are there, but we have the slide up and ready for you, India. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, so the Hyderabad Public School was built in 1923 and was formerly known as the Jagadas College. Our school has given a large number of prestigious alumni and is a sprawling, lush green campus of 122 acres. Our school has actively taken part in maximizing proper waste disposal and reducing our carbon footprint.
All right, I think that someone else is maybe supposed to do slide 2 because our current friend from India is now muted. Is there someone else from India who would like to speak? All right, we might just thank you, India, for that introduction. We're so happy to have you here today.
And Hyderabad has been a part of the project for many years now, so it's great to have you there, India. Okay, so we're going to continue to go forward now. We're going to connect to our friends in Argentina who are going to share on behalf of their school. So Argentina, we have your slide up. Oh, is this a video from Argentina?
No, that was we have 2 Argentinian schools
Oh,
participating.
all
So our
right.
first was from our friends at the Globe School, and this is our other friends at St. Nicholas School.
Okay, excellent.
Yes, so hello everyone. I'm Mile from Argentina. We are a school from Buenos Aires. It's called St. Nicholas. We are 6 people in this group. I'm from 11th year, like Theo, and then there's Sophie, Gatu, Ame, and Julian, who are 10th years. Here in Argentina, climate change has affected us really hard in certain areas. For example, in the south, we have glaciers which are melting quickly. And then here in Buenos Aires, there's an area which is called the Delta. It's mainly islands connected by rivers, and there's been a lot of droughts and then floods because of the change in the amount of rain which this area is receiving. So also in the province of Córdoba, we had uncontrollable fires, which have been really dangerous because many people have had to move. They've been displaced. And so this is our first time here in this decarbonizing project. We are really hoping we can learn more about other cultures and what people are doing in other countries to fight against climate change. At our school, we are separating plastics like bottles, and in our community, we also separate papers and other recyclable items so that these can be recycled. We also do some bottles which are filled with plastic, and these are sent to a plant which makes plastic wood, which is then used to make walls and furniture, which is donated to areas which need them. And we are really hoping we can learn more from others so that we can implement these new ideas at our school. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Argentina. It's your first year on the project, and we are so excited to see the work that you and your fellow students do. I mean, we're excited for all of our new schools, but so welcome, and such a great presentation for your first year on the project. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show your flags. All right, over to now our friends in Nigeria have sent a video.
Okay.
And so we will get that all wiggled up now.
Now it looks like we may have a couple of challenges on the audio side, so thanks for your patience on this. We're going to get the video going here right away so that everybody can see what our friends in Nigeria are saying. And so let's see, what are the continents we've heard from our friends in, now we have heard live from our friends in South America. We've heard from our friends in North America, both on the mainland of the United States and farther north. And I think, are we ready now for?
Hello.
I'm so sorry, Nigeria. I see that you are here.
Hello.
Hello. So we see that you are here. Maybe you can talk to us directly, because unfortunately the video is just too quiet. Are you able to hear us, Nigeria? So you talk us through your school and say hello, but it was a brilliant video. I have it on, I'll put it on the classroom, because she's designed a battery powered house that'll supply power to villages where the power comes and goes because of the grid. But it was an amazing project. I'm going to put it on the classroom. And so please, Nigeria, introduce yourselves.
Nigeria. My name is Uchechi, and my name is Ebube. My name is Blessed. My name is Chike. My name is Sharon. My name is Ahu. So we made a battery power generated house which will enable climate resilience to developing countries in Africa, such as most especially in our country, Nigeria, where there's constant power outage and the price of electricity is high. So this project can go hand in hand with renewable resources such as the solar panel and the wind turbine, so that you can be able to store electricity directly and use it for the future. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nigeria. It's so wonderful to have you again on the project.
Excellent. We're looking forward to, we'll be sharing that video so that everybody else can watch it later and see the great work that you're doing. So good job. Excellent.
Thank
you. Yeah. Super. So next we're going to be going over and hearing from, let's see, which, are we going to stay on the same continent? Are we going to be jumping across an ocean? We're actually coming back to North America and to our friends at the United States and Mill Pond.
Hello, konnichiwa, shuprabhat, namaste, kamusta, habari. Greetings to my global friends from Mill Pond School, Westboro, Massachusetts. I am Mahi, and I'd like to introduce our amazing school, Mill Pond, the home of the Rangers, built in the year 2001. Our school mascot is the blue heron because several of these majestic birds live in the local Mill Pond. Mill Pond has a combined population of 900 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and today we represent the 6th grade classes of Mrs. Hopkinson and Mrs. Casparello. We call ourselves the Virtual Voyagers, a team of around 50 remote learners in this academic year. Due to the coronavirus, a total of 100 6th grade students chose to participate in the online learning program. At Mill Pond, we are proud of our diverse school community, which includes students with different nationalities, religions, race, and cultures. Our principal, Mr. Gilnitz, and teachers teach us how we can accept our differences, be open to new cultures, and still work as a team to achieve any goals that we set our eyes on. As we strive to achieve excellence in academics, we are also encouraged to be kind and respectful to our friends and teachers, have empathy, generosity, and responsibility. We are excited to virtually meet all of you, work on the climate change project because our state is currently under drought-like conditions, and who knows, one day we might meet together in person.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Mill Pond. That was a wonderful, and again, another new school this year joining us from Westboro. No, from Mill Pond. I'm so sorry. Goodness. So our next presentation today will be from the Philippines, and we're going to try another video here. Let's hope the sound works. Fingers crossed. Wonderful school from the Philippines.
Magandang araw! We are St. Joseph's Academy, and we are the oldest Catholic educational institution here in the Diocese of Parañaque. It will be our third time joining your advocacy to #decarbonize and #decolonize. As an institution, we believe that climate change is not a trend.
We must make ourselves environmentally conscious and lead by a good example to make a difference.
Climate crisis is everyone's problem, but it won't solve itself. We need to start carbon mitigation right now.
Our future is in our hands, so let's all be part of the solution together.
Healing the planet starts within ourselves. Let us create a healthier environment where posterity can happily grow.
A strong voice can change not only someone's life, but also the world's peace as it looks forward for the future generation.
As Generation Z, we turn to social media to advocate our initiatives on climate change.
To move alone could make an effect, but to act together could make an impact. Let us build a better place for generations to come.
single step to begin the journey of changing the world.
Be an instrument in empowering the youth to take part and converse with other organizations in making a stand for climate change.
Magtulungan para sa kinabukasan ng ating kalikasan.
I have allowed seeing Mother Earth recuperate, and I would be glad to join the organization and sacrifice myself just to see her do it.
We were supposed to be the stewards who would protect our planet. Now, let us take action and reverse what was done yesterday for the better of tomorrow.
Advocacy for sustainable consumption and production, where doing more is better with less carbon footprint.
There's one issue that will test the future generations of this century, and that is the urgent threat of a changing climate.
There is no other Earth like ours. It's time that we stand up for what we stand on.
Advocacy for the betterment of the Earth for future generations.
Once again, we are SJA.
We are simple,
Jesus-centered,
Achiever, available to serve.
All right, great job,
Amazing.
Philippines.
Oh, what a brilliant video, a wonderful introduction. Thank you so much for sharing about you and your school and your passion for climate change. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's so good when students are able, when we have that subtitle that's there, it helps us read and understand sometimes when we're listening to a language that is not our first. And another country where we will have sharing next is from Russia. Welcome, Russia.
Now,
Здравствуйте.
I know I saw Galina, the teacher, online, so I'm going to
there
turn
we
it over to her.
go.
Здравствуйте. Hello to everybody.
Oh, and your microphone is not it's unmuted, but for some reason we can't hear you. Is there something you can adjust on your side?
No, I'm sorry, not.
Oh goodness.
All right, so Galina, what we're going to do is we're going to go on to our next school, and then we'll just get you to disconnect and connect again.
Yeah.
Oh, we can hear her. Okay, that's just our side. Okay, Galina, you're okay. That was our mistake.
Hello. Do you hear?
Excellent. Go ahead, Galina. Our mistake. Thank you so much, Mary from the United States, for letting us know that you can hear her. So we're good to go. Over to you, Galina.
Здравствуйте. Hello to everybody. We are happy to take part in this project. We are just small online school in St. Petersburg, Russia, and hello from St. Petersburg, and our purpose of participating in this project is to increase the knowledge about ecological problems and spread this knowledge, and also bring up our students more ecological minded. So thank you very much for such possibility. We're happy to be in this project, and great hello from all our students to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for participating again. This is your second year in the project, and we look forward to all of your students joining us online. Now, our friends in Brazil, I know that you've been able to log on. We've been WhatsApping in the background to make sure you could get a spot in the classroom. So I'm so glad, or into the meeting. I'm so glad you're able to join. I'm going to turn it over to you now, Brazil.
Hello. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, we can.
Perfectly.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Firstly, I just wanted to say that we Brazilians are really honored to be participating in Decarbonize this year. My name is Ana Beatriz, and I'm 15 years old. I'm from Brazil, which is located in South America and has borders with 10 different countries due to its big territory. It is the 5th biggest country in the world and has an area of 8.5 million square kilometers. Our country is also known for being really diverse and really different, and that makes sense because we're the 6th most populous country in the world, having a population of 210 million people. So we Brazilians that are participating in Decarbonize this year are all from São Paulo, which is Brazil's biggest and most populated city and has a population of 12 million people. So some of São Paulo's most interesting and most popular attractions can be seen in the slide which is being presented to you right now. Can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you so much.
Okay, so hi, I'm Sofia, I'm 15, and I'm also from São Paulo, Brazil. Well, we study at Colégio Magno, and our school takes part in many projects to help the environment. And some of them are being presented to you right now, like our cultural exhibition, which is made with UNESCO's partnership, the aquaponics, which are tanks of fish that have their water removed from time to time, so that water can be used to provide nutrients to the school's vegetable garden. We also have solar panels we recycle. There is the transformation of a satellite dish into equipment to clean the rainwater and get it ready for use. And we also clean and take care of a stream and of a square close to our school where we also plant. So that's what we do to fight against climate changes. Thank you so much.
Yay! Thank you so much, Brazil. It is wonderful to have you. You were such amazing contributors when we were in Spain last year, and we very much look forward to having you again on the project. Oh.
Excellent. Now we're going to make our way across to Bangladesh. Welcome, Bangladesh. It's great to have you here. If you want to unmute your microphones. And again, there's the many different experiences that we all have and how climate change.
Hello.
Oh, hello, good. You're right there. Welcome.
Am I
right over
audible?
to you.
We can hear you.
Okay, so I'm Momi as a representative of Vikarnesa Noon School and College, Dhaka, Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a small country in the southeastern Asia, but with a huge population, about 164 million. Hence, along with industrialization, the pollution has increased considerably. That includes the emission of CO2 at a great extent. People are suffering not only from natural disasters, but also from diseases like skin cancer. We are facing floods every year. And that's about our country. And can you please go to the next slide? Yes, thank you. So in Vikarnesa, in our school, we have clubs like the art club, we have scouts and the science club that works for changing the perspectives of students towards environment so that they can be more motivated to protect their surroundings. We have processions, we go for meetings with our teachers along with the students on World Environment Day. In our science fest, we have projects. We use the recycling materials so that our youngsters can be more inspired. And when we have any, it's like in our summer, there are some problems that includes dengue as well. So in a scout, what they do, we have a team who works with the insecticides and in school and even outside of our school, so that our people who are in a lower region can be saved from this disease, which is a really life-threatening disease. And worth mentioning that our students of grade 2 even were inspired by our club of environmental club, and they started a volunteer program to clean the field after break time on their own in this January. We are so impressed by their works. They were only from grade 2. And we are working to increase the interest of all our students in these works so that we can make our school and alongside our Dhaka, Bangladesh and our locality into a better and improved place and can decrease the emission of carbon dioxide. And yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Welcome again, Bangladesh. Last year, we had a student from Bangladesh who was ready to come and work with us in Spain on the final project, and unfortunately, due to visa, was not able to join us. And we hope that Nuzhat will be joining the project from Bangladesh again this year because her voice was just so impactful, and we were so sad to not have her with us in Spain to represent Bangladesh at the UN conference. But her words were in the paper, and that's the thing. Everything that you say is so valuable in our classroom, and we want you to feel as though we are listening, we are hearing, and together we are building our response to what's going on for youth in climate change and climate resiliency, climate justice today. So thank you so much, Bangladesh, for that wonderful presentation. Now we have a new school joining us this year from Madagascar. It's 2 students, and we know that their access to internet can be spotty. So we hope that they're still online. I know they had unmuted earlier. Let's hopefully our friends from Madagascar are still here. Oh.
And this is where it's all that much more important. So when we don't have maybe the best internet connections at our house, we can still be writing and using the blogs and using those opportunities to link to each other and making that connection. So even if we can't hear from you today, this is where it's even more important for us to be using the online classroom so that we can continue to have your voices that are there.
Okay, I'm gonna just share their pictures of their school on their behalf. I know that it's unfortunate they weren't able to stay online, but here's their school here, and I'm gonna, you can say the name of their school there, Terry. I'm gonna throw it over to you. I'm sure you'll get the pronunciation spot on.
Non, je m'excuse, mes amis de Madagascar. They asked me earlier if they could speak French because they speak French in their country. Et on parle français ici, mais but we are, so I will not try to mispronounce your name of your school, but
it looks like Cairo is joining us now. They might have jumped over to the YouTube link and they're just hearing us. Let's see if we can get Cairo and Ray. I know. Oh, okay, so this.
Hello.
Hello, we have you.
Hello, everyone. We are from Madagascar. Our school is Andriana Punmerna Sabutsinameana High School. It locates at the capital of Madagascar in Antananarivo. I'm Mia and this is Numen. We are classmates. We haven't school sung, but we can sing a small part of our national anthem.
Wonderful.
Unao zanahary tsy nosin-drazana ity niakana sy ofiana sitrae sambatra tokoza.
Excellent.
Oh, I love it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Madagascar. And no one else has had courage to sing so far. Yay! Taiwan's unmuted to give you a round of applause. I think everyone on YouTube is probably sitting at home giving rounds of applause as well. Thank you so much. We're so excited to have such a small nation represented in our project this year. Oh, Taiwan, I'm going to mute you again. Or if you don't mind, if you can mute yourselves, that'd be wonderful. Just because we want to pass. Oh, our friends at White Rock sent me an email this morning that they were unable to get permission to get into the school at 7 a.m. Makes sense. And so they've asked me to just share. Oh. So White Rock Elementary is a grade K-7 school, I believe, in Surrey, BC, which is near Vancouver. I think a lot of people have probably seen Vancouver. Here it is, a coastline picture, and their school as well. They're a first time joining our project, and so they're very excited to share their perspectives. Canada is such a large country that we have many diverse, the same with America, many diverse ecological zones joining. And so that's part of how we choose our schools that participate is what unique voice can they bring to the project? And that's why as well your schools and your nations have been chosen, both because we know you do amazing work and your teachers are brilliant, beautiful people who believe passionately in global education, but also because you have a story to tell. And we want you to tell that story. We want you to be empowered to share that with our classroom and with the other students. Now, not everyone was able to join us today. Time zones, COVID, just a multitude of reasons, but we want to acknowledge all the nations that will be joining us. 42 countries this year on our project. So I've tried to divide them by continent so that we can see. Now Turkey, I put in Asia because it's 90% in Asia and 10% in Europe. I don't know if you knew that, but I found that out from Google. So into Asia they went. So we have Africa, we have Asia, we have Europe and North America. We have our friends in South America joining, and our friends in Oceania, New Zealand, as well as a new school this year. So should we hop over to our Jamboard and see how it's looking?
Let's see how that's going. See all the notes that are posted there. Let's take a look. Look at this. Oh, and it's still growing.
It's growing. I think some people have started to add, on another page. I think there's a little confusion on adding new pages and adding sticky notes. No problem. Make sure you get your note on here though. Let's see our, look at all these people. I'm gonna have to adjust.
That's incredible.
So wonderful. Oh, someone's in there right now. The anonymous frog is in there, adding their, so maybe we'll share the link again before we end the day, because I know that it was on the slide, but you can't copy and paste from the slide. So maybe I'll have one of our colleagues here pop it in. Yes, so Mr. Reza from Indonesia has asked us to share it again so that his friends may add to the Jamboard. So we are doing that right now. And what we'd love to do is be able to make a playlist of some great songs from around the world, because you know what? I don't know any artists in Madagascar, but I'm sure that you have amazing songs and things that you can share with us. What's on your radio? What are you listening to these days? Let's share it with our friends around the world so we can create this awesome playlist, so that while we're filling in our blogs, I'm like, dude, this is awesome. I could be in Madagascar right now listening to this on the radio. Unless it's Beyonce, because honestly, Beyonce's everywhere and we all love her. But we want to hear from what's going on in your country. What do you want to share with the friends of the world? So our project this year. No, we're gonna mute you again, Madagascar. You just have to.
Here, I'll grab that.
Wonderful. I know it's hard to do on those cell phones. So we're decarbonize, decolonize. What can you look forward to? Over the next October is Bilateral, so we'll be working with our country partners. Some partnerships have 3, some have 2. You'll be working in those partners, sharing your case studies, talking about your country, presenting about the issues that matter to you in your area. We'll learn from each other and we'll share that information. We'll be following up with some blogs. We have carbon footprint blogs. We have introduction videos. We have your reflections on climate justice and how does that impact you. We have pictures and we have collages. If you want to share, we all have different ways of representing what we know. And there's no way, written is not better than art. Art is no better than video. We have all multiple ways of sharing our knowledge. So just feel free to whatever is calling to you. If you want to write a song, if you want to share a poem, we would love to have that on the classroom. Now, if you are not able, we know that there might be some connectivity issues. Our friends in Cuba were not able to join today because their internet was shut down by weather. And so if you are always welcome to email me with difficulties and I can upload it to the classroom on your behalf. No problem at all. We are all here to help. Now we want to hear, most importantly, the theme of this year is youth action. We want to hear what you're doing in your communities. What is your decarbonized project? We're going to learn about climate change, but it's very important to also act, to start making change. And what's going to be an action in Canada is going to be different than what is an action in Kenya, what is an action in Brazil. And there's not going to be a winner. It's about celebrating the work that we're doing. Maybe it's creating a resource. Maybe you're creating a podcast. Our friends in Costa Rica, who I think someone is joining us today, they've created a blog and they want to feature some of the work that you're doing. So on the classroom, you might get an email from a student from our Costa Rican school who's like, can I share this with the students with youth in Costa Rica? They created a youth environmental movement and they're going to be sharing some of our work. So what are you able to do in your community that is unique to that area and that helps youth in your area, helps your community? So it's our call to action.
And it's so very important, friends, when we sit down, when your representative from your countries sit down with the leaders of the world, they don't want to hear a voice of somebody from Edmonton in Canada, or just a voice of someone in Edmonton in Canada, or just a voice from Madagascar, or just a voice from Turkey, or just a voice from those regions. They want to hear everybody's voice together. right? And so it's really important. How we bring everybody's voice together is through the work that you're doing in the classroom, right? And we bring this, the artwork that you post, we actually literally bring it with us to the United Nations conference. And we direct people to the work that you're doing there so that it can be heard. And when you share things, when you share music, we can put those links together into the paper so that people can access this and read about it later. So it's everybody's voice together that adds the power. And we do that through the video classroom. Now, I do just want to say very quickly that they also want to hear your individual voice and what you're doing individually, but it's when we bring it both by ourselves in a larger community that we have the real power to make change.
Mm-hmm. So, this is a map. So on the classroom itself, we started to map the participating schools. We'd love for you to go in and let's create a huge map of where we are all joining from. Now, if you haven't received the link yet from your teachers, it's here, but also you're welcome to reach out on Twitter. You're welcome to reach out on YouTube. You're welcome to reach out directly through email. I'll put my email in the chat here and we can send you the links to get you online. You join, you click this link, you enter the code and you create an account and then you can start posting. Now we want to give you a glimpse of, oh, it's so big, it's such a large file. So here's what the classroom looks like. And the first activity we've asked you to do is to create a video to, again, introduce yourself, just in case our students couldn't join us today, they'll be able to catch up and learn who you are online. Now we have one last video I'm gonna try to share as an example of what you can produce to introduce your country.
My name is Holly and I'm 16. My name is Abby and I'm 15. And my name is Andrea and I'm 15. And we all attend Pimlico State High School in Townsville, Australia.
In our community today, we have experienced many climate-related issues that have affected our homes and everyday lives, such as the Townsville floods that civilians are still recovering from, as well as coral bleaching, more frequent heat waves, and extreme weather events.
By being a part of this program, we hope to learn about new solutions to combat climate change while also further assisting the journey of recovery from climate change. Additionally, we also hope to learn of what other people around the world are most concerned about and how climate change is different in other countries. Pimlico is heavily involved in the fight to live in a sustainable society that instead of slowly killing our country, we will be preserving its unique environmental features. A new project that has gone underway recently is installing many solar panels to decrease bills and make our school more carbon neutral. Other programs include tree planting, reef guardianship programs, and Pimlico Think Tank. By the end of this video, we hope that you now have a little more of an insight in our community and how climate change impacts differently around the world. Also to have learned what our school is doing individually to have as much of a sustainable society as possible. Thank you so much for letting us have a voice in the Decarbonise, Decolonise program.
All right. Thank you so much, Australia. They made it so fun.
And that's great to make those. Have a little bit of fun when you're creating your video. Let us see where you live and what your school looks like and projects that you have on the go.
Okay. We wanted to make sure that you had seen and heard about our art. So we've talked about it, but there's also a gallery online that we encourage you to reach out to the younger grades in your schools, in your community, and share that art. Last year we had a great number of wonderful pieces that were submitted from around the world, from children as young as 4 to teens in their 18, 19, and it was wonderful to be able to share this work with the world. We have a gallery that is online, and here's some more amazing. We had this, the whale that was drawn by our friend at Bolus, blew me away, and we had it blown up super huge, and we took it to the conference and we put it on one of the walls, and as people walked by, they were like, I do not believe someone who was 15 produced that piece of art. It can be such a different way to make an impact on these conversations, because it's not just about the negotiations, about the policies, about the numbers, it's about the feeling. And if we can impact these policymakers and say, youth of the world are feeling and experiencing this, and we need to do something to address it. And so it's another way of voicing and giving that mandate to our governments to make change. All right. Okay, so we have our next big adventures as our bilaterals with your case studies. It would be awesome if you could get online. The bilaterals, your partners are listed on the classroom, your teachers know who they are. It would be great if you could get online and watch their videos. Learn about who they are and what matters to them ahead of your conversations with them, where you will present your case studies, your national problem. But the thing is, we also understand that it is a time of COVID. Let's see if I can get my slide to change here. So we know that you are all stressed, that you are all overwhelmed, that it is a difficult time. And so we want you to also take care of yourselves. So if you are only able to participate in the case study, but maybe your friend can do a climate justice, or your friend can do the carbon footprint. So please delegate where you are. You do not have to do everything. You do not have to be the voice of everyone in your country, but we do want your voice somewhere in the project. But please recognize and take care of yourselves. It is a difficult time for all of us. We are all experiencing this pandemic in different ways, but we want to make sure that you're also taking care of yourselves. Okay, so we wanted to finish today with a message from the UN Secretary General, who really—
Envoy to you.
Envoy to you, sorry. And how youth leaders need to be empowered today, how your action is of critical importance. And so youth, we must empower youth as leaders of climate action today, because of the time they become the leaders of tomorrow. It will be too late for their generation to prevent dangerous climate change. The time is now for us to act. And we want to help you feel that you have that voice, that you have friends all around the world who want to make change, and you're not alone in that passion. So we look forward to working together. Again, one last reminder on the Jamboard, we'll let it stay open for a few more hours so that our friends who are watching on YouTube and maybe watching a little bit later can also add their thoughts. And we want to thank you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of this. Don't forget to thank your teacher for allowing you to be a part of this as well. It would not be without them that we could do this amazing project.
Excellent. So before we bid adieu to everyone, what we're going to do is we're going to take a screenshot of our participants who are here. So we want everybody to wave wherever you are.
And if you're joining us from YouTube, we want you to take a picture of yourselves with your phone and then tweet it. So tweet it to decarbonize, #decarbonize, #decarbonize 2020. Either of those will get it to us. We'll make a huge collage. So everyone smile and wave. We're taking your picture.
We're almost done. Keep up with it. Don't stop yet.
Yes, we're there. We're on to, oh, we see our friends from Isabel, our friends from UNESCO, and here's some. We see our friends from the Netherlands and India.
Yeah, thanks for turning your video on. That's great. One more picture, and then we're going to be done.
Our friends from the US and our friends from Peru. Wonderful. It's so great to have you all here today.
We're done. We did it.
We did it. We made it. Now we know that we weren't able to introduce all the schools, but we are so excited to see your names and your work online. Watch your videos and see your art.
Excellent. Thanks everyone for coming today. Great work. We'll talk to you soon and see you online.
Oh, we should do a final cheer. Everyone unmute. And
yeah.
Bye-bye.
Everyone, thank you.
Unmute. Decarbonize.
Hi, Sarah. Decarbonize.
Have a good day, everyone.
Hello.
We'll see you again soon.